Rob Dillingham of Kentucky and Aden Holloway of Auburn are set to match up this weekend in the college basketball world. The two lead guards are having amazing seasons for their respective schools. They actually played with each other on the same AAU team. But who's going to come out on top this weekend? Who's going to have the better game? And what types of things should we be looking for from both of these players moving forward ahead of the draft? I want to start off by saying I'm a huge fan of both of these players' games, although they are kind of on different timelines as of this moment. So when it comes to Rob Dillingham of Kentucky, I mean, pretty much every mock draft you look at is going to have him in the lottery. This one right here has him at number 4, and he should be. He's averaging 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists a game on 48% from the field, and a super efficient 44% from the three-point line. Not to mention the extreme athleticism he has, so his game is going to translate super well to the NBA level pretty much immediately. However, as far as Aden Holloway goes, his stock has dropped a lot lately. He's only averaging 8 points on 30% from the field. Now, he started off super hot this year for Auburn. It looked like he was on his way to being a lottery pick. In his first game of his college career against a ranked and good Baylor team, he had 19 points and 6 assists, and then in early December, he had a 24-point explosion against Indiana. So it looked like Aden Holloway was going to be on the same type of trajectory, but as we can see here, Aden Holloway's play and minutes have started to fall off a little bit for this Auburn team, even to the point where in a 40-point win against South Carolina, he only had 11 minutes and 2 points, and this puts Aden Holloway in a really weird position because as his play and minutes have started to drop, the team has actually started to skyrocket in the SEC and NCAA rankings. As you're going to see right here by a bunch of these clips, I'm going to show his makes, but his shot selection is just wild. Now, his high moments are really high, but his low moments can be really low. He's definitely a pick and roll scoring point guard, and Holloway is obviously and clearly still trying to figure that out, and I don't think that NBA franchises are going to want to have to deal with that. And I think the biggest difference between him and Rob Dillingham's game at this moment is that Rob Dillingham could obviously be your lead and dominant guard, but Aden Holloway has struggled to find the balance of being able to play off the ball like Dillingham can, and that just gives Rob Dillingham so much more versatility when it comes to going to the NBA next year. And that's why on Aden Holloway's draft profile, you see him projected at number 41 in the 2025 mock draft, so not even this year. Another site has him as a possible second round pick in the 2025 or 2026 draft. This next part is where it gets really interesting. Why in my videos I've had a consistent theme in saying that the industry has a huge misconception on how to judge talent, what it means to actually be a good basketball player. So we're looking at the 2023 point guard recruits right here. As you can see, we have Aden Holloway at the number 3 position, and then Rob Dillingham at the number 5 position. But let's actually talk about 5 through number 1. So when we talk about Rob Dillingham in comparison to Elmarko Jackson, Aden Holloway, Elliot Cadeau, and Isaiah Collier, Dillingham is to the point where he's rated higher in pretty much every single mock draft, and the rest of those guys aren't even in the top 10 in some cases. As we saw with Aden Holloway, he's a projected second round pick in next year's draft. How can the people that are in charge of evaluating talent consistently get it this wrong over and over and over and over again? I don't know. Now, I think there's a couple things that we can take away from the Dillingham to Aden Holloway debate. One is that situation matters. If you guys are college basketball recruits and you're trying to figure out where you need to go, take a look at the history. Obviously, Rob Dillingham knew that he was a scoring, explosive guard, and Kentucky puts those out like clockwork. So that was a smart decision on his part. When as opposed to you looking at Aden Holloway, yes, they put out Sharife Cooper, but Sharife Cooper has been bouncing around the G League and hasn't been able to find a consistent spot in the NBA, and Sharife Cooper is way better than Aden Holloway is. Another thing as a player, if you can't find how to be versatile and how to play off the ball, it's going to be really easy to game plan for you. Something that's been super notable about Rob Dillingham is that as he's built more hype and he's played better, teams still can't stop him, so it doesn't matter what the scouting report is, and you can say that's because he has more talent around him. I get it, but also I don't get it because Auburn's a higher ranked team and they're having a better season than Kentucky is. And with Aden Holloway, it's the opposite. He started out the season really hot, but as scouting reports started to come out, teams were able to expose his poor shot selection and poor passing decision making, and it's making it to where he's becoming pretty much unplayable. Now, I think that Aden Holloway can still be a really good college player, and I think that he might even have a place for himself in the league because of how predominant scoring guards are what's working. And honestly, when Aden Holloway does decide to just relax when he's off the ball and catch and shoot open shots, he's pretty effective at it. But that poor shot IQ is making it to where Holloway is only shooting 30% from the field and 30% from 3. And when you take in the fact that Holloway is also only 6'1" and 178 pounds, that poor efficiency and poor IQ is just repellent for NBA franchises. They are not going to want to put up with that. And look, Aden Holloway's young. He's got plenty of time to figure all this out. Again, as usual, my main problem is with the people that are in charge of rankings and how consistently wrong they get it. But I do think that Holloway could actually come out here and have a great game against Kentucky. He's a big game player and he plays well whenever the lights are the brightest, and there will be no brighter lights than having Kentucky come to his home court this Saturday. Let me know what you guys think in the comparison of the two, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you soon.